This is number 17 from the end of chapter 3, practice AP questions, multiple choice. They're asking how many points is their vertical tangent line? So the key thing here, what does it mean to have a vertical tangent line? How does that apply to derivatives? So vertical line is straight up and down. What is the slope of a vertical line? Well, it's going to be rise over run. In rise is a change in y over change in x. Or if you do a derivative, it's dy dx. So this is the derivative, which is related to that. This is the average rate of change. This is instantaneous rate of change. But in a vertical line, it's going to be the same. So when you have a vertical line, you have to see this. Your delta x or your dx is going to be 0. Because in a vertical line, you don't move left or right. You don't. So your dx or delta x is always 0. So in this case, you're going to have some number on top and 0 on the bottom. And dividing by 0 is undefined. A vertical line has a derivative that's undefined. It has a slope that is undefined. So what's this question really asking? When is dx equal to 0? Because it's undefined when the denominator is 0. So that's the concept. So now we know we have to find the derivative. So let's copy the function down. Now looking at this function, y is our function, x is our variable. So this is a function to the fourth, it's box to the fourth. So the derivative of that's going to be 4 box cubed times derivative of y, which is dy dx. This is just going to be 9x squared. I brought the 3 in front and decreased that by 1. And on the right side, I'm going to get 2. So my goal is to find dy dx and to set dx equal to 0. So the first step, ooh, I messed up. Derivative of 2 is 0. What are you doing? Glad I got that. That would have been scary. You guys should have told me. You should have said something. Okay, so I'm going to add 9x squared to both sides. So if I do that, I will get this. Add 9x squared. When I add it to the left side, cancel. I add 0 to 9x squared to 0. I get that. Then I'm going to divide by 4y cubed because I'm trying to isolate my derivative. And now I have my derivative. Dy dx equals 9x squared over 4y cubed. So this is the slope of the tangent line, and you want it to be vertical, which we talked about means it's undefined, meaning the denominator has to be 0 or dx is 0. So that all means that 4y cubed must be 0. To be a vertical tangent line, the denominator must be 0. So 4y cubed is 0. Divide both sides by 4. Cube root both sides. So we get y is 0. So the question was asking, how many points on the curve is there a vertical tangent line? And you might immediately say, oh, just one, y is 0. Be careful, because there could be 2 points where y is 0. And let's double check. In the original function, we had y to the fourth minus 3x cubed equals 2. So we have to see how many x values there are for that y value. I'm going to plug 0 in for y. That's a fourth, by the way. 0 to the fourth minus 3x cubed equals 2. Well, that's 0. Divide both sides by negative 3. X cubed equals negative 2/3. Cube root both sides. And we just get one x value. So the only point would be this. the cube root of negative 2/3, comma 0. That's the point where the tangent line is vertical. So the answer is going to be 1. And you might say to me, I told you so. There was only one y value. Therefore, there's going to only be one x value. I will show you when that's not true. There could be 2 x values. What if the original function was a squared instead? So if this were a square and that were a square, this would be a square root. And when you do a square root, you need a plus or minus in front. Do you remember that? So you would need a plus or minus that actually gives you 2 x values. So if this were the case, your answer would be this: square root of negative 2/3 and negative square root of negative 2/3, 0. You would actually have 2 solutions if this were a square, because you get 2 x values for your y value, 2 different x values. So be careful on this question. In this case, there was only one, and that